Yo, what's good, everyone? So it's your boy Cyrus back for another trade recap slash market recap. So I did end up taking one trade today, but it did end up being a loss. So I'm gonna break down exactly what I was looking for when my bias was going in for the day. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So right off rip, the first thing that I wanted today was I wanted these London highs up here. We had this buy side liquidity resting up here. So I was looking for my overall bias to be bullish for the day since I did end up wanting those highs, right? Now, a lot of people did end up taking this 1 minute inversion right here. This was pretty textbook right here. We had our 1 minute right there. Then we had our sweep of the liquidity here, and we were also delivering off of another 5 minute fair value gap. Now, this would have been your best trade. You could have taken it up to this high, or you could have tried to held up for that, but it would have got to stop that at break even. Now, the reason why I didn't take this trade was just because I wasn't even on the charts during this time. This was literally 8 a.m., so I wasn't even on the charts yet. So I was for sure thinking, okay, we're definitely going to come up and take that buy side liquidity. Now, we did have Trump speaking today at 9 a.m., so I did wait to see what Trump was going to end up doing or what he was going to be saying. So around this time right here, we're like at 9 a.m. This is when he started to talk. So I was assuming that price was just going to be overall bullish and we are going to start pumping. Now, once he started to yap, we got close to taking out the buy side liquidity. When we were up in this area, I was like for sure thinking we were going to come up and take that buy side. Now, that did not end up happening. We actually did end up selling off for the whole rest of the day. And if you guys notice here too, if we drop down to the 15-minute fair value gap right here, we did end up taking the Asia lows as well too. We took out these lows. And I was for sure thinking, okay, if we invalidate this 15-minute fair value gap right here, then our draw on liquidity would definitely be these lows that are resting down here as well too. So we have this sell side level down here. There we go. Now we let price action play out, boom, we just completely obliterated down and took all of those lows. So price action did end up just being a freaking choppy ass day today. We did just end up sweeping all these lows. We did just go lower. Now I wasn't really sure of my bias now at this point just because we already ran so much LRLR, like generated liquidity over here, but I still wanted to be bullish overall. Just because we did have this major dump doesn't mean that we would just keep dumping lower, because I mean this could just have been our manipulation, take out all these lows and then maybe see our expansion back up to the highs. So I was still ultimately bullish. Now I was letting price action play out a little bit more. So this is about 957 right here. I was looking for a long position back up to the highs, just because if you guys look over here, now another good liquidity pool is a high inside of a fair value gap. So we did have this internal high inside of this fair value gap right here. So I was wanting to see if we would get some sort of retracement or an entry back to this internal high up here. Now we did have this 2 minute fair value gap right here that you could have taken, but this one did end up getting stopped out at break even. Well, it didn't even hit the break even point. I was gonna move my stop to break even once it hit here. I didn't end up taking this trade though at all. Now the confluences for why I was going long here was because we did end up taking this low here. If you guys look over here on our left, we are also inside of a 15-minute fair value gap right here. And we also did have a 15-minute order block down here. So price was respecting this fair value gap, this order block. We already rebalanced back down to this fair value gap. So I was expecting price to come back up and push for the internal high. I wanted to see some sort of reversal. Now this trade I did not end up taking out. So price came back down and went a little bit lower, and then here is actually where we did end up rebalancing this fair value gap more. So we came back down, we rebalanced the fair value gap, and we were still respecting this order block and this fair value gap here. So I was ultimately still bullish just because we had already sold off prior, and I just wanted to see some sort of reversals to start climbing back up to that liquidity that we did sell off. Now around this time, this was 10 a.m. So if you guys don't know, 10 a.m. is typically a good time for a reversal. So we did have this 2 minute fair value up right here. So this was ultimately the one that I did end up taking, just because we were respecting bullish PD arrays, order block. We also did have an SMT with ES as well too, with one of these lows down here. I forgot which one it was, but we had a bullish SMT, and then like I said, I did want to target that internal high inside of that fair value gap. So I patiently waited to see if we got our entry position. Our stops right there. Target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Now we pull up the fib retracement. We were also inside of the discount of the range as well too. So this is ultimately just like a good setup. This was a good setup in my opinion. So we did get our candle close right there. This was your entry. Your stop loss was going to be down here for a 1 to 2. Now this was a very good trade in my opinion. I mean, it checked off all the boxes that I needed for me to be able to take this trade. Just like I was saying, we were inside of a discount. I wanted that internal high. We were respecting bullish PD arrays. We already took out this liquidity to our left. But unfortunately, this trade did end up being a loss. I did end up taking this and I got stopped out. So that was pretty much it for like what I was looking for in the day. I did not end up catching any of the sell off, but I was expecting prices to start coming back up and be bullish. Now we kind of are already pushing back up right now. We in versus 3 minute, but overall PA is just choppy right now. I just definitely believe today was not high probability. It wasn't really the best, to be honest, but it is what it is. We kept our risk management in check. Lost 240 on the day on all three accounts. It is what it is. I'm still overall green for the month. That's all that matters. So yeah, hope you guys learned something today and hope you guys realized why you shouldn't trade this. So yeah, that's it for me today. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay blessed and have a good one, y'all.